next up is going to be brown, X9. And there's a few parts here and there that I'm going to paint brown, but I've also decided to change a few things here and there. This is an acrylic paint, but I used a leveling thinner, which does work on this type of paint. Now I kind of made kind of a goof here. I'm going to show you right now, but this may work out in my favor. Who knows? Alright, so that's done. I painted the side chest parts with the gunmetal. But then after reviewing it, I said to myself, well, maybe that was not such a wise idea. Yeah, because in all due fairness, it doesn't, the contrast doesn't look right. I put it to the side here, and now I can't find it. I also found out that the few parts I forgot to paint. Shoot. Where did I put it? Okay, I'll eventually find it in a minute, but pretend it's all. But let me do the feet, because they are brown. Give this another pass because I think I may have thinned this out too much. I'll just add another layer of paint over it, but okay, there we go. Just right here a second ago. I'll do the shield. Here we go. I just noticed right now my water's drying, so I think it's time to put more water in or replace what I got. Yeah, I think I may have pre-summed this way too much. Okay, what I did was I just dumped the paint inside the reservoir. Dumped the paint back into the bottle to mix up more paint and then put it back on again. Let's see how it works now. I'm going to use this. Yeah, this has a better coverage now and more thickness to it. I'll repass the other parts as they slowly dry and cure. Now here was the part that I was mentioning, and so here is the Titans Blue one that I painted for this, and here is the brown over it. Excuse me. And as you can see, the brown is a different tone. Yeah, I think I kind of may have messed that up. And now that I remixed the paint, let's see how it looks for this one. A little roughy, but I think it's a lot better. Let me even that out a bit on this. That's redeemable. I don't know if you guys can see that in the light. I should have thought of maybe I should have painted all the parts, the dark parts I know I want to paint brown dark as a base coat, and then paint the brown over it. That would give it a nice little neat look to it. This is the last part. Well, no, there's a few more parts, but here's the chest part which needs to be painted brown. I think I mentioned before, I have a brown color in lacquer, but it's so reddish tone, it's ridiculous. I have to find a different type of brown from Gunzo. And if not, I'll have to go more acrylic. Alright, so let me continue on. There's a lot more parts here that I need to. I'm going to recover up the ones that I screwed up. They're a little bit wet, and then we'll move on to the next color so we can finish it up, okay? So hang tight with that. Alright, so next up we're going to be painting some of the darker tone colors, and I'm going to use graphite black with 40th anniversary colors from Mr. Hobby. I'm not completely sold on this color, but I've tried it every now and then. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes I want to throw it away. But let's work on the parts that need it, like, let's say this. Sorry. This has like a metallic tone to it. It's not the Titan's Blue 1 color, but I just wanted to give it a try, see how it is. I've used it on another kit before. I decided to change it up with the metallic silver or chrome and use it on this one. See how that comes out. Alright, let's try this. I have a little here. I'm going to fill in the reservoir in a few moments. Do once this is dry, I'm gonna mask off that, and paint the inside with a different metallic tone color. It's kind of pretty much a given to do that with Gatling guns. differently with certain things. For this, I masked off the shoulder parts, and you guys can see this here. I'm going to paint the little holes. I'm going to use this color. That should be enough. I have another part here, which is the two little notches that's on the arm. Just a little bit there, not too much. That's Alright, and even though I have the decals, I said let me paint this, see how it looks. Let me continue on, because I have two more colors to work on. Let me finish up some of the joint areas that I need to work with, and we'll move on to the next color. Alright, so the last thing I'm doing right now is there's some little touch-ups here and there, and that's basically the metal, like some metallic parts, especially the thrusters and the turbines that's on the legs. And I was going to do two types of colors. One was maybe use this one, ice silver, but it's a little too thick. I had the other super silver color, but I'm trying to save that for another kit. So instead I decided to pull out gunmetal by AK, Extreme Metal AK. I've used this paint as a something for the inner frame. I think I'm going to use it for this. This is a good paint. The problem is though, if you plan to mask parts, well, how can I say this? If you use it to mask it, if you paint this on a part and you decide to mask it, the residue of the tape does some sort of weird reaction to the part. It leaves a sticky residue on it. So when using extreme paints like this, don't mask it afterwards. Like something like this, which could have easily been masked on, painted like one color, then masked, then I can paint over it, fine. But painting it before, not a good idea. Also, I'm not liking how it's coming out here. It's not wet. It wasn't flowing fine. I'm going to wait until it dries. Here are the other vents here. Just keep it a nice glass from a distance. Don't get it oversaturated. And that's it. Let me just close in a bit. Another one here. Okay, that looks good. That looks really good. Now there are some parts that I actually continued masking. This is the part for the shield, but there's some detail parts there, so I'm gonna paint these little guys. That's good. This is the mono eye, which I will paint the other color, but I'm going to paint this one first to give it a nice back lid to it. These are the knees, but there's some vents there, which I don't know if it's going to show through, because when I was reviewing the legs and where the positioning of these vents are, I think they're going to be covered up. I've got to be very careful here because I didn't realize that it may back up there. I'll ruin the brown. So I gotta do very slow. There we go. Alright. Well, I'm gonna say this. I am done. Just a few parts here and there, and I am done. I just need to paint the mono eye, and once everything is dry, I am going to begin peeling off the masking tape. So stay tuned for that. That's going to be very nice.